Hi everyone, welcome to Project 1. In this case we have an online encyclopedia using Django. So here's my homepage, and the first thing we see is a list of entries or pages that we can access in 3 different ways. We also have a sidebar with a search bar and some links. So the first way in which we can access the entries is by modifying the route, saying /wiki/ the title of one of our entries, for example HTML. We hit enter and we're taken directly to that page. However, if we enter something that does not exist and hit enter, we are taken to an error message page saying that our entry wasn't found, and some messages and a link to go back to the home page. The second way in which we can access our entries is by just clicking on them from the index page or the home page, because they're all links. But as you can imagine, if we had a list with thousands of entries, it wouldn't be efficient to just be looking through them. So that's why the third way to access the entries is by using the search bar. If a user types in exactly the name of one of our entries, for example Python, and hits enter, they are taken directly to that page, skipping the results page. But if, for example, somebody doesn't know how to spell something correctly, an example is Django without the D. If they hit enter, they should be taken to the results page with a result that matches their input. In this case we get Django, and the results are also links which they can click on to be taken to those pages. So that was the search bar. Now we'll go over creating a new page. On the sidebar we see that we have this link that says create new page. We click on that link and we're taken to a form in which we can enter a title and some Markdown content. If we try creating an entry with a title that already exists, it'll give us an error message. If we don't enter a title at all, it also reminds us to enter a title. So with that said, I'll go ahead and create another entry, and with the Markdown content, that's a Markdown heading and some plain text. We hit create and we are taken directly to that new entry that we just created. As we can see in the URL, we have /wiki/Google. If we go back to the home page, we also see that we have the entry Google here. And now I'll go over editing an existing page. For example, after we go to an entry, we can see that we get another link that says edit page. If we click on that link, we are taken to another form in which we see a text area with the Markdown content for that entry just ready to be edited. For example, if I want to change the heading here and add a smaller heading, and I hit save, I'm taken to that same page but with the updated content. As we can see, we have /wiki/c. We can go back to the home page, click on C, and we can see that we have the updated content. So that was editing another page, and now I'll go over this link. That's just a randomizer to go to a random entry every time we click on it. And finally, it's important to remember that I'm not writing the HTML for any of these files. It's an automatic process, and we can prove this by creating a new page and add some just random content. If we go into our project, we see that in our entries folder, we do not have any test.md file or any test.html file. But once we hit create, we go to the home page, we see that we have the test entry, and if we go to the project, we also see that we have a test.html file now and a test.md file without me having to write any of that.